I requested my childhood medical records, and the hospital said they couldn't release them because I was listed as deceased. I needed vaccination records for a new job, so I went to the hospital where I was born. The woman at the front desk typed in my information, and her face went pale. She called over her supervisor, who made me show 3 different forms of ID before staring at me like I was a ghost. There must be some kind of mistake. This file says you died in a house fire 27 years ago. The first thing I did was drive to my parents' house while they were at work. I went straight to the filing cabinet in my dad's office and started pulling everything. My birth certificate looked normal, but underneath it was a death certificate with my name on it, and behind that was a life insurance payout statement for $500,000 dated 2 weeks after the fire. I called the DMV and gave them my driver's license number. The woman on the phone went quiet for a long time. "Ma'am, this number doesn't exist in our system. Where did you get this?" I hung up. I called every job I'd ever had, including the restaurant where I bussed tables at 16, the cleaning company at 18, and the office where I filed papers at 20. 2 of the numbers were disconnected, and at the third one a man answered, but when I said my name, he told me I had the wrong number and hung up. I looked up all 3 businesses online, and none of them existed. I called my grandmother, and when I said my name, she started crying. I asked her what she knew about the fire. "I can't talk to you about this. Please don't call me again." She hung up. I called my aunt and my uncle, and neither of them picked up. I left messages, but nobody called back. My sister was the only one who agreed to meet me. She was already crying when she sat down across from me in the booth. I asked her what she remembered about the fire. "Mom and Dad made me promise to never talk about before." I grabbed her hand. "I need to know the truth." She shook her head. "I was 5. I didn't understand what happened until I was older. When I finally asked them about it, Dad grabbed my arm so hard it left bruises and said if I ever opened my mouth, I'd end up just like you." She stared at me with tears running down her face. "They were supposed to get money when you died, but you didn't die, so they told everyone you did anyway." I drove straight to my parents' house. My mom looked at me with this disgusted expression and said, "Why are you trying to destroy this family after everything we did for you?" I stared at her. "You tried to kill me." She crossed her arms. "You're being dramatic. Let this go before you ruin all of our lives." My dad put his hand on my shoulder. "Calm down. You're blowing this out of proportion." I shook his hand off. I talked to my sister. She told me everything. The room went dead silent. My dad turned on my mom. "I told you this would happen. I knew she would crack eventually. 27 years of keeping her mouth shut, and she picks now to fall apart. This is all your fault." My mom's face twisted with rage. "My fault? The whole thing was your idea. You're the one who said we'd never have to work again if we just collected on the policy." My dad stepped toward her. "And you're the one who was supposed to make sure it was done right. You said the smoke would do it before the flames even got upstairs." My mom screamed back at him. "Don't you put this on me. I didn't know she'd wake up. I didn't know she'd make it to the window." I slammed my hand on the table hard enough to rattle the dishes. "You left me to burn alive for insurance money?" My dad's voice went soft. "You were supposed to die, but you didn't. And by then we'd already filed the claim. If anyone found out you survived, we'd lose everything and go to prison. So we kept you hidden. We gave you a life off the books. You should be grateful we didn't just finish what we started." My mom looked me dead in the eyes. "We raised you when we didn't have to. We fed you, clothed you, kept a roof over your head for 27 years. You were supposed to fix what we broke. You owe us everything." My dad moved toward the kitchen drawer. "She's going to ruin us. We should have finished this years ago." I saw him pull out a knife, and my whole body went cold. Before he could take a step, my sister burst through the front door screaming. I called the police. "They're on their way." My dad froze. My mom started sobbing. My sister grabbed my arm and pulled me out of the house, and we sat on the curb until the sirens showed up. My parents were charged with insurance fraud, arson, and attempted murder. Since I owed them everything, it was the least I could do.